Yo, realest one, man. Peace. Blessings if that like, support the platform. I would appreciate that. So, Queen Elizabeth passed away, and there's this controversy behind that, right? A lot of controversy. Because first off, let me put this out there. When someone passes away, that's the ultimate judgment, right? Should a person still be, let's say a person was a piece of crap all their life, and the majority of the people known them to be that piece of crap. But then the other people know it too, but they're still going to praise them as a person who passed, showing compassion. And they just decide to keep it to themselves. Does that necessarily make the people who are more truthful and outspoken about it, who are saying, listen, they were a piece of crap, I'm always going to remember them to be a piece of crap? Are they necessarily wrong for that? That's basically what's going on with this Queen Elizabeth death aftermath, man. Because as they call it, Black Twitter went crazy after that. And they ain't showing no remorse to the lady, right? Because Queen Elizabeth and all her people over there, you know, their liking of black people isn't really all that high. History has showed that, right? And one quick example of that is one of the grandsons. I forget his name. You can help me out with it in the comments. When he got with Meghan Markle, come find out this girl got a little bit of black in her. They didn't want nothing to do with her. So imagine how they really feel about a full black person. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, if people are kind of like, I'm not going to forget the person I remembered her to be just because she passed away. In comes D.l Hughley, right? He's getting a lot of heat because he spoke on how he feels like Black Twitter is wrong for that. Because they were doing all types of memes and all type of stuff too, right? And so I'm not going to lie. I seen a couple. They cold. I'm not going to lie to you. D.l Hughley was the one black person who really spoke up and said, listen, there's a time and a place. You know, I know what y'all are talking about. There's a time and a place for that, fam. This woman did pass away. I'm just being, people feel a way towards him because it's like, why are you speaking up on behalf of this woman? You know the history. You know what I'm saying? I never did too much of my research on Queen Elizabeth and stuff, but I'm aware of what I feel like I need to know, right? The reason why some black people reacted so strongly to her is because she had a role in upholding the legacy of what they call the British imperialism, which often affected nations with black and or brown people, right? So to some, the fact that she was the figurehead for this institution is something that people aren't going to forget, fam, right? So they're looking at it for how it is. They're like, let's keep it 100. Shorty wasn't no sweetheart. Why am I going to show remorse to this woman because she passed away? But that's their truth, so are they wrong for that? And I think this part is important to throw in there too. This British historian and author said that all that energy towards her is misplaced because the reality is Queen Elizabeth didn't really even have any political power, right? It was saying that all the British imperial policies that people are protesting were not even her doing. In fact, she says that the Queen was a strong advocate for the British Commonwealth, which is an organization of countries far different from the UK's conquering and colonizing ways of the past. So, but should that really matter, right? Because we know what we know. And then, like I say, you also got that situation where the story was they didn't want to undo it the grandson because of the fact Shorty had a little bit of swirl in her, right? Which I still cannot see when I look at her. So D.l Hughley, he's getting the backlash like, you can't tell us what to say. That's how we feel. You shouldn't even be speaking on behalf of that woman, right? And he's just saying, I'm just being compassionate. All I'm saying is it's a time and a place. He says anybody that's celebrating her death, is pretty soulless. Even if they have a point about her legacy, the timing is in poor taste. You know, translation. Yeah, I know Shorty wasn't no damn angel, but the timing is in poor taste. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I understand where D.l Hughley is coming from. I don't blame him for showing compassion at all. It's called being human. And a part of being human is showing compassion even when your human counterpart doesn't, right? That's what compassion basically, not everybody has that, right? I don't think the memes and all that extra stuff, it's not something I would have done. You know, I'll just keep it real, be like, listen, I know her history, so I'm not going to speak on it. I'm not going to say nothing. I wasn't even going to do no video with this woman's name in my title had it not been for this situation, right? All D.l Hughley is saying is that he understands, but it just shouldn't happen right as someone passes away. And that's all he feels like he's saying. It kind of reminds me of that Kevin Samuel situation. Of course, race wasn't the topic, but because of this brother talked about women, did the things he did, the women of the world had no sympathy. I can't think of one woman that I know who spoke publicly who had sympathy for the brother. And it was a normal thing, too. It was like everybody had the same feeling, right? At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. Do you keep your personal feelings about an individual to yourself because they passed? They're a person who cannot defend themselves anymore, even if you are aware of their actions during their life? Or do you stick to your truth and remember that person publicly of how you remember them to be? Literally. I think it's a matter of opinion. I completely understand both sides. After all, how can I not understand? I am black, right? And I feel like DL is just being human, but everybody might feel different. Leave a comment, you know what I'm saying? Leave your own perspective on the matter. Realest one. Peace, blessings. Hit that like. Every day is a blessing. I'm gone.